Fresh green beans, only $2.99 per pound. Fresh Purdue chicken thighs with drumsticks, only $2.39 per pound. Carolina rice 5-pound bag, only $6.29. All size boys and girls Huggies pull-ups, only $15.99. Shockwhite sweet whole kernel or cream-style golden corn, 15.25-ounce tin, just 89 cents. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, October the 19th. I'm Terai Trott in for Diane Brewer, and thanks for tuning in tonight. Members of a church from which its leader is said to have voluntarily stepped down after allegations of wrongdoing were confirmed against him, now given further insight into just what they might be. Church leaders reportedly recently informed members that they received information about the alleged sexual abuse of a minor involving one of its leaders and which occurred years ago. Upon confirmation of that information, the individual was immediately expelled from the organization and a report was made to the authorities. It's understood, though, that no report has been made to the Bermuda Police Service, and we have so far been able, or rather unable, to find out if one was lodged with the Department for Child and Family Services. However, the alleged incident said to have taken place before the church actually came into being. Church leaders also assuring members that it works tirelessly to ensure the safety and protection of those under its care. Further, the membership told that as far as it knows, no minor has ever been sexually assaulted since the church came into being. And on the news tonight, concern after dock workers take industrial action following the dismissal of an assistant superintendent who was sacked earlier this week. It is understood workers are seeking to have their colleague immediately reinstated to his former position, or if not, demoted to another position, just as long as he is allowed back on the job. Management at employer Polaris Holdings Limited have deemed the workers' request as unacceptable, leading to a standoff of sorts. It is, however, understood that despite the industrial action, essential goods are being delivered. We have so far been unable to get an official comment from the Bermuda Industrial Union, which represents the workers. Less than 24 hours before he and his government are to face a parliamentary showdown over plans to amend the Human Rights Act in favor of Bermudian rights, Walton Brown Jr., the Minister for Home Affairs, today held a news conference to defend the bill, which has so far caused alarm among certain parts of the country.
The issue of immigration law.
Facing the news media at AB Place Media Room, mindful of the public criticism over recent days, Walton Brown Jr., the Minister of Home Affairs, addressing speculation that government's bill to change the Human Rights Act would harm people's individual human rights.
This bill will not take away anyone's fundamental human rights.
Government, he assures, has considered the bill very carefully.
We are mindful of our international obligations. There is no such provision in this bill to deny or to take away anyone's human rights.
The minister also clarifying that the bill in question is not linked to government's plans for comprehensive immigration reform on which the ruling PLP was elected.
This amendment is meant to bring back into law what has been the policy and practice for more than 40 years, i.e. a recognition that those who hold Bermuda status, and now also those who hold PRC, have a different set of rights when it comes to immigration matters.
The appointed Human Rights Commission has met with the minister to discuss their concerns with the bill, with both sides agreeing that the HRC will review aspects related to the proposed amendment and will be free to make proposals to government in future where it concerns human rights.
But they also will serve as a member of the bipartisan immigration reform group that will commence work the first week in November.
Elsewhere, in response to reporters' questions, Mr. Brown denied suggestions that the bill would remove the ability of residents to file complaints over human rights abuses.
This bill does not take away that mechanism at all. What this bill does, it allows for the government to treat differently Bermuda status holders and PRC holders from all other categories.
Meantime, the minister stressing his proposal will not hinder residents when applying for Bermudian status.
There is a clear process by which people are legally entitled to apply for Bermuda status. This will not affect that whatsoever. The recent court decision had the effect of granting an entitlement to an individual to work in Bermuda without any work permit control whatsoever. This person is not a Bermuda status holder. is not eligible for Bermuda status, but because of a recent interpretation by the courts, it has opened the door for literally thousands of people to be able to make their claim.
Tune into tomorrow's parliamentary coverage live beginning at 10 a.m. on our Inspire 105 FM station. The Bermuda Police Service can now confirm the death of 63-year-old Robert Wilson and extend sincere condolences to his family and friends. Mr. Wilson was found in an unresponsive state at an Eastdale Lane, Southampton home at around 7:35 p.m. on Tuesday and later pronounced dead at the scene by an on-call doctor. Foul play is not suspected. However, an autopsy is anticipated.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
More people today rely on Mailboxes U.S. Express to bring their internet shopping into Bermuda than any other shipping service. Why? Because it's cheaper, quicker, and our staff are friendlier. Large international couriers charge more than $80 to bring a 1-pound package into Bermuda. When you use U.S. Express, you pay only $19.50. So when you're shopping online, trust the service that brings in more packages to Bermuda than anyone else. Mailboxes U.S. Express. Sign up today.
Looking for a challenge, new adventures, forge lifelong friendships, and earn an extra $5,000 to $6,000 a year?
Good stuff.
Be a part of a proud and honorable legacy of service. The Royal Bermuda Regiment is seeking volunteers. Let's go, guys! Call us at 238-1045 or visit bermudaregiment.bm. The Royal Bermuda Regiment, your regiment.
The Executive Committee of the anti-gay marriage group Preserve Marriage tonight advising its supporters that it has received and accepted the resignation of its deputy chairperson and spokesperson, Gary Simons. In a written statement sent to the media, the board pledges to continue its relentless efforts to reverse the recent court decision that allows for same-sex marriages to be performed in Bermuda and plans to keep its many thousands of supporters informed of the progress of its efforts. While gaming is a hot topic in Bermuda, with it soon coming to the island shores, Government Senator Anthony Richardson told the Upper House yesterday of the sort of impact anti-money laundering legislation will have on small businesses.
The comment was that I, for example, might operate a small accounting firm or could be a small real estate firm, is to realize that based upon all the changes, we now need to be aware of the impact on our businesses, because clearly the goal is going to be to ensure that persons cannot use our businesses to launder money.
So what would you like to see in place to make sure that, certain things don't happen?
Sure. It's for those small business operators, whether it be lawyers, accountants, or real estate persons, to make sure that they are aware of the changes so they can adjust their practices internally. And sometimes that's going to require the assistance of professional advice, but the key thing is to become aware of what's required so they don't fall themselves of the new laws.
Yeah. Gaming, again, quite a bit of time spent on that today.
Yeah, and for gaming, it's that the new legislation, right, will bring the gaming commissioner under the legislation so that he too would be able to make sure that based upon any new casinos that are operating, they obey any laws that apply to them in terms of money laundering.
Bermuda's Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Kathy Simmons, says she is keen to have more lawyers defending those who cannot afford to defend themselves. The minister notes that presently several cases are farmed out to private companies.
The legal aid scheme needs to be sustainable, and the underpinnings of that scheme are that justice needs to be accessible. That's why we have legal aid for people who can't afford legal services. And the Throne Speech initiative in that regard from the PLP was to make sure that the costs are predictable. So there's no 1 year when we can predict the cost of legal aid services. So depending on the state of the economy and how many people need to have that assistance, the cost can escalate or go down. What we're trying to do in order to maintain fiscal responsibility is to contain those costs by putting counsel in-house to deliver some of the legal aid services. So at present, the legal aid matters are farmed out to the private sector. We have 2 counsel in-house, but given the escalation of the fees over certain years, we are definitely moved to reform the legal aid service system so that the costs are containable. So that will involve increasing the establishment.
When you say increasing by 2, 3, 5, any number in mind?
Well, we like to do informed policy making, so we're not going to give a number until we assess what that looks like, what types of cases are we farming out. Obviously, there's a need when we have multi-defendant criminal cases to outsource because then you have a conflict, but there are other civil matters, landlord and tenant, matrimonial, that can very well be done in-house. So once we assess what those areas are and how much we're spending on outsourcing the services, we will definitely assign some in-house counsel. But let me be clear, this is not a move to disenfranchise small businesses who actually earn the money from legal aid. So the assessment will include a balanced approach to containing costs and making sure that we're not taking business entirely from the private sector, particularly the small firms.
Yeah, but the long and short of it is expanding. It's going to be,
the emphasis is on containing costs. And if that requires expansion, so be it.
Live in peace, not in pieces. That's the aim of a new support group called Moms on a Mission, created for grieving mothers and family members who lost their loved ones to gang and gun violence in Bermuda. Minister of National Security Wayne Keynes, during a news conference, described this group as a holistic approach to beginning the healing process for those recovering from past trauma.
These women share a tragic bond, having lost a son to violence. Although united by tragedy, they have come together to support one another, to deal with their grief, to uplift their communities through their efforts at reconciliation and forgiveness. I wish to thank all those who are involved with this initiative, and under the leadership of Dear Iris and Nicole Fox, and the able support of Mr. Vernon Weirs and Pastor Leroy Bean. This country must heal. And our responsibility as leaders is to facilitate that healing. This government is determined to promote the activities that will break the cycle of systemic origins of violence in our community.
Co-chair of Moms on a Mission in Bermuda, Ms. Nicole Fox, who has been vocal on the power of reconciliation after her son was shot in 2013, outlines the group's core values.
A safe forum is provided for each person to express their grief and concerns, with trained counselors to aid the healing process and to further the restoration process. Love. We seek peace and unity by embracing all those in the community who have been impacted by the violence in Bermuda, and endeavor to mend and build relationships based on love, tolerance, and respecting each other's differences. Education. Training is provided on a monthly basis on topics that are relevant to grieving mothers, their families, and their support persons, including the community at large, where applicable. Empowerment. Each person is validated and given the opportunity to share their talent, knowledge, or expertise to further our cause. Forgiveness, one of my favorites. We start the reconciliation process by facilitating the uniting of both victim's mother and the perpetrator's mother to be an example we would like to see in our community.
Chairperson Dia Iris, who also lost her son in 2013, explains how the support network plans to branch out.
To date, we have set the ball in motion to create the first male support group for grieving men who have lost sons, nephews, brothers, cousins, and friends to acts of violence. We have been in talks with Bermuda Police Service to express our concerns around community safety, provided free professional grief counseling to impacted family members who desired this much-needed counseling but lacked resources. We have been chosen to be part of the grief and loss assessment that will be facilitated by Comfort Zone in partnership with the Champions Program, the first of its kind in Bermuda.
Some improved weather expected over the weekend. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Good evening. Hopefully everybody had a fantastic day today. It's a little bit wet out there, isn't it? This forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group. We do have a low pressure system that's heading right in our direction. Look at that. It's going to be right over us, and we are going to see some downpours, a half to 1.5 inches in places. So we are going to see some downpours that could lead to some isolated flooding. We even have a thunderstorm advisory out through tonight. So it's going to be wet tonight. We need this rain, so it's certainly not any kind of bad news. This is going to continue through midnight. After midnight, that's when things are going to taper off a little bit. We will still have some leftover showers, but it's going to be clearing out. And then after that, it's going to be mostly sunny with maybe a few showers here or there. So for right now, 76 degrees across the island. That's right around average for this time of year. Humidity 88%, winds out of the southeast 8 to 12 knots. The water temperature is down to 79 degrees now. Inside the reef, 1 to 3 feet for those waves, and outside 6 to 8 feet. So a bit choppy. Be careful. We don't have any marine advisories to tell you about, but that could certainly pop up as this low pressure system approaches. So for tonight, mostly cloudy and breezy. It's going to stay breezy throughout the weekend with rain tapering off again after midnight, a low of 73 degrees. Tomorrow, it's still going to be breezy in the morning especially. Otherwise, some clouds and some sunshine with some brief showers passing through. 79 degrees for the high temperature. Now for our tide times, the first high tide at 9:20 p.m., the second one at 9:39 in the morning, so bright and early on Friday. Now if you are traveling, we do have a gateway forecast for you. Toronto, nice and sunny. New York is sunny and pleasant. Boston as well. We are going to see some showers in Miami and also in London. 58 degrees there, so certainly cooler conditions in London. Here in the Caribbean, it is still hot and humid. Jamaica, 92 degrees. Barbados, 88, and Trinidad, 82. And again, could see some wet weather, even some thunderstorms popping up, especially in those higher elevations. For the next couple of days, not bad. Saturday, it's going to be mostly sunny, 78 degrees, so beautiful conditions there. Sunday through Monday, we could see maybe an uptick in some very light brief showers in places, but mainly staying dry. Same story for Tuesday, and look at those temperatures staying in those upper 70s for the next several days. Stay tuned to Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all your latest news and weather.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Fall into savings all month long. Check out the great deals throughout our website. We have everything to create the living room of your dreams. Browse through our site to see the large selection in all price ranges. Entertain guests with the perfect dining set. We have something for all tastes and styles. Imagine falling asleep in your new bedroom. We have just what you're looking for. Don't wait. Call or stop in today and fall into savings all month long.
Visit Bermuda's #1 furniture store today. Big Savings Zone, Southside St. David's.
Extreme Entertainment presents the Live, Love, and Laugh Comedy Show Thanksgiving weekend, Saturday, November 28th, 9 p.m. at the Fairmont Southampton Hotel. Starring, direct from Hollywood, comedian, movie star, reality show Raising Whitley, and the next Friday movie, Kim Whitley.
Was mentoring young girls. One of the girls got pregnant. She left my name at the hospital. Ain't no biggie. Till the hospital called me. We got your baby ready. I was like, I didn't order a baby. The fries come with that baby.
From Comedy Central, David Arnold.
Old people go right to sleep in church, don't they? Old people go to sleep in church like they got an email from God.
From Last Comic Standing, Sam Burrell.
It's great to be here, guys. Been watching porn in my hotel room most of the day, so it's great to be around people again.
And husband, like Ida Rodriguez.
I'm from Puerto Rico, which means I'm a black person that speaks Spanish.
Tickets at the Fairmont Southampton. Secret audiovisual choices online at BDATix.com. Comedy star Kim Whitley. Saturday, November 28th at the Fairmont Southampton Hotel. Be there.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 for Inside Bermuda Homes.
Next one is very interesting. If you're one of the many people who have trouble sleeping, a new clinic may have the answer for you. The Bermuda Center for Sleep Disorders has already begun seeing patients with a full range of diagnostic staff and treatments due to get underway next month. The center says it is the first facility of its kind in Bermuda and can help those suffering a whole range of sleeping disorders. Our reporter Howell Davis went to see if he could catch 40 winks.
It's a clinic that may have the answer to one of the banes of modern life, a lack of sleep. The Bermuda Center for Sleep Disorders says it's able to diagnose and treat those suffering from an inability to get enough rest. And according to staff there, it's not just a question of feeling occasionally sleepy during the day. Not enough sleep can lead to a host of serious problems, including heart disease, impotence, high blood pressure, and an increased risk of stroke, as well as destroying one's quality of life.
People just assume that they're getting tired and I'm getting older. However, with proper sleep, they function, like everyday activities. They feel like they're getting their lives back, their energy's back. They don't feel like they just come home and sit on the couch, and that's it for the day for me.
One of the most common and severe problems is sleep apnea, where breathing is disrupted at night. Untreated sleep apnea can cause hypertension, stroke, or heart failure. Other problems include insomnia, sleep deprivation, and restless leg syndrome.
As you breathe, this shows me your effort of your chest.
So how does the clinic diagnose conditions like these? I was soon to find out with a host of sensors attached to me. They monitor key functions like brain activity, eye movement, heart rate, and blood pressure. So I've now got fully all my electrodes on. They're going to be monitoring my electrical patterns in my brain and other places. So I'm all ready to go for a good night's sleep. Well, for some sleep anyway. We'll see. Like me, patients at the clinic will be closely monitored and filmed as they sleep. From November onwards, the clinic will be able to observe people for a full night rather than the afternoon nap I had. So, even with just a brief sleep, how did I do?
No leg movements were noted, no snoring. So, although brief, it looks really nice.
So a reasonable rest for me, this time at least. But the clinic is certain many Bermudians need help sleeping. Obesity is one of the key factors behind poor sleep, and obesity rates here are soaring. That's likely to mean that a good night's sleep for many Bermudians is a dream rather than a reality.
And he certainly looks well rested. And you can find the Bermuda Center for Sleep Disorders at number 8, The Lane in Paget. Bermuda's under-17 women footballers advance in Haiti. The Bermuda ITF Juniors tennis tournament play resumes at the WER Joe Tennis Stadium, and a ball hockey doubleheader headlines tonight's sports report with Earl Baisden.
All eyes will be on Friday's CONCACAF Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifying match that will feature Jamaica versus Trinidad. This after Bermuda, for the first time ever in the sport of women's football, defeated Jamaica 3-2 last night. Bermuda took a 3-0 halftime lead through goals from Leilani Nisbeth, Nia Christopher, and Adia Gibbons, and they were able to hold off a charging second-half fight-back by Jamaica to claim a famous victory. Following the game, we asked Coach Aaron Denkins about the team performance.
I was very proud of how the girls played tonight. Before the match, we talked about how Bermuda and Bermudians are a resilient people and a resilient country, and we knew that we had to carry that Bermudian trait into this match tonight. The players are intelligent. We made a few tactical changes overnight. As we thought it was the best way to approach this team, and it paid off. We always knew that the second half was going to be difficult, and true Bermudian form, they were resilient, and we saw the match out. It was a little difficult with Jaden Masters not available due to her injury, but the girls played for her, they played for the families, they played for Bermuda, and they did us proud.
Tournament leading goal scorer Nisbet had these comments following the game.
Going into this match against Jamaica, we all knew it wasn't going to be easy and that the opposition was going to be hard to beat. But all 20 of us girls on and off the field worked and played as a unit, and most importantly played for each other. I was fortunate to score the first goal in the first half to give the team a 1-0 lead, which is a great feeling to have and wouldn't have been possible without all of my teammates' hard work. Nia and Diaz soon added to this lead with 2 well-deserved goals, raising the team's confidence. I feel that we all dug deep and didn't let the score affect our determination and drive in wanting to walk off that field victorious, which is why we can officially say that we beat Jamaica and Bermuda came to Haiti to play.
Bermuda only need a draw or a Jamaica victory, and they will automatically qualify for the CONCACAF Championship Final next year in Nicaragua. Following a day and a half of no play due to rain, play resumed in the Bermuda ITF Junior Tennis Tournament at the W.E.R. Joe Tennis Stadium. There was a big surprise in the boys under-18 division with the number 2 seed, Juan Felipe Murray from St. Lucia, falling in straight sets 6-2, 6-1 to Griffin Denke from USA. The number 7 seed, Benjamin Kitte from USA, fell to Matthew Dow from Great Britain in 3 sets 6-7, 7-6, 6-3. Bermuda's Trey Mallory, who was ranked 8th, bowed out in a 3-set battle, falling 6-4, 1-6, 6-3 to Eaton Komachenko from USA. In quarterfinal round action in the under-18 girls division, it saw all the top seeds advance. The number 1 seed, Nicole Hammond from USA, defeated Morgan Whitlock, also from the USA, in straight sets 6-love, 6-love. Anali Olive from Great Britain defeated Mary Jean Brumfeld from USA in straight sets 6-1, 6-4. Bermuda Bowl Hockey League season moved into round 3 with a doubleheader at the PCC hockey rink last evening that produced 17 goals. The opener was a 9-goal thriller that saw the Montreal Canadiens defeat the Edmonton Oilers in a shootout. With the game locked at 4-4 and no goals in overtime, Ryan Wilson scored the Montreal Canadiens shootout winner. During regulation time, the Montreal Canadiens got single strikes off the stick of Troy Dort, Bill McClure, Andrew Bonner, and Anthony Kapsamalis, while the Edmonton Oilers got 2 goals from Chad Cunliffe and single strikes from Josh Bush and John Talbot. The nightcap saw the Ottawa Senators defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-3. Gabriella Arnold finished just off the podium representing Marian University on day 2 of the Midwest Collegiate Cycling Conference Regional Mountain Bike Championships in Indianapolis. Competing in the cross-country women's collegiate A division, Arnold finished 4th behind her schoolmate and winner Emma Schwartz, while Hannah Finchamp from Linwood University was 2nd, and Catherine Santos from Louisville finished in 3rd. Arnold and her Marian University teammates won the cross-country mountain bike championship. Only 1 game was played in the Bermuda Basketball Elite City League last evening inside the Summersfield Academy Gymnasium. The Hornets defeated the Marksmen by 45 points, 73-28. Omar Wolf and Dare Smith scored a game-high 17 points for the Hornets, while George Peak scored 7 points for the Marksmen. The Bermuda Netball Association's Winter League season will get underway this coming Saturday, October 21st at Bernard Park with the Sylvia Eastley Round Robin Tournament scheduled to take place. The opening matches will see the Storm take on the North Village Lady Rams Red Team, while the Robin Hood Ladies will battle the Lindos Tigers. Following those matches, Phoenix Heat and Blazing Heat will take to the courts, as will the Storm and the Robin Hood Ladies. In Mixed Majors Bowling League action at the Warwick Lanes, it saw the Activators fall 11-9 to fight back. Spear Change defeated the Warriors 15-5, while the Unpredictable defeated the Untouchables 12-8. The Troublemakers fell 12.5 to 7.5 to the Minimax Forwarders, and the Mix-Ups defeated the Movers and Shakers 16-4. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Save $1 on all varieties of Pretty Lady grapes, only $3.99 per pound. Fresh boneless sirloin pork chops, $3.99 per pound. Super Slopper Superbug Insect Spray, 430 milliliter tin, only $3.99. Regular Diet Coca-Cola Soda 6-pack tins, only $6.49. Yoplait yogurt 6-ounce tubs, only $1.09. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
When you lie down on a Stearns & Foster bed, you'll appreciate all the craftsmanship we've put in, making it that much harder to get out. Stearns & Foster, crafting the world's finest bed.
Furniture Walk, Bermuda's home of top mattress brands, Stearns & Foster, Therapeutic, and Restonic. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years. Call 292-5209.
Education Minister Diallo Rabane has paid a visit to students in the Applied Technical Certificate Program, which is a 2-year study program at the college. The minister went to a special session entitled Walk-in Wednesdays for high school students and guests to hear presentations from those taking part. The minister stating he was impressed with the student projects ranging from energy conservation, network security, virtual reality, and automotive garage update. And that's our broadcast on a Thursday night. I'm Tarai Trott. Thanks for watching. Good night.